Alright everybody, as promised, we have ourselves a Les Paul Gold Top. And it is a real Gibson. Gold Top, no weight relief. And it's got really flat frets. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. And we also have our Nashville Bridge that somebody mis-slotted. And I don't know what happened, but it's not right. So we got a new bridge. Dun, dun, dun. New bridge. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. And we're going to level the fingerboard and crown the frets. I am going to take the body just because we don't want to have any mishaps with the sanding block. It's a 12-inch radius, so we're going to be using a 12-inch radius block. Notice I took the tip off. Alright, so sarcophagus has been made. Oh, the other thing, well, we'll do that when we change. The back of the strings are touching the back of the bridge, and there's actually wear there on there. So we're going to have to raise the tailpiece a little bit too. So let's go ahead and take this and take the strings loose. So we can pull the bridge off of there. There we go. You can see where there's been several attempts, especially on the high E, to change the, and they're both wrong, to change the, where the string passes over where the notch is. Okay, so with the help of my little friend, we've got little dents on there. Now we can slot it where it has to be. And use, there's a 12, there's a 20, so we're going to use the, on the treble side, find our slot. And we have a slot. Find a slot. We have another slot. I am pretty sure that we got this neck as straight as we possibly can. Which is right here, it wants to slip in, but I think that's from play. It's really tight, but everywhere else good. So that's where it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and tape the neck off. Okay, so we have our Gold Top Les Paul all sarcophagus sized, and we have magenta, not pink. Magenta is a manly, muscular sounding color. Coloring all the frets. We have our 12-inch radius block, and this is a 12-inch radius. I checked, so everything's taped off, the pickups are taped off, and we're going to protect our nut, and we're going to go ahead and use some 220 grit paper and do this until all of the purple disappears. And he's really bent the strings in the middle because they're not even getting touched yet. And we also have these in the cowboy cord area. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm sure you're not going to want to watch me do all of this work, so I'll be back. Okay, so we just about got it here. We're going to start at about the 12th fret here and just work our way back to give us a little bit of a fall off. One stroke per fret we move back. Alright, and that's all there is to it. See, all the purples or magenta is gone. Okay, we're all purplized now. We're going to use a StewMac crowning file. It has 150 on this side and 300 on this side. I like it in this area because my Fret Guru fret dagger isn't helpful on a single cut. So if you see here, that 24th fret, I've got the beginnings of a crown. And you go until you have just a pencil line thickness, so you have the round part at the top. Keep checking because you don't want to have no line left. These are all going to be like super wide at the middle, and that's where most of the material is going to have to come off of because of how flat we had to make them. Line's getting smaller. Almost there. You want to just barely be there, like it's just disappearing right there. Just disappearing. And that's what we want. Just a thin line across the top. Get rid of the wide parts. And that's where you stop. And you don't have to worry about your fret nibs because the nibs are a little shorter than the frets. So I'm going to go ahead and continue, as I'm sure you're not going to want to watch it, but that's what we're going to work for here, and we'll be back. So I'm just finishing up, making sure that the frets don't rock. There's no high frets, in other words. You always go across 3, that way you can be sure that you have level frets. If you go across 4, you can't figure out which one it is. So that's done. Now I'm just going to use some micro mesh to polish them up. And we'll get the strings back on there. And the bridge. New bridge. Okay, so yeah, micro mesh. Start with 1500. It's pretty gritty. I guess if we were talking like sandpaper, it would be more like a 600 grit. So we just go along. Polish these up. I'll link to a video. I think it'll be in that corner right there on how I go about polishing frets. Got it strung up with 10s from D'Addario, and we want to see what our string height is. That's going to come up, and that's about right. But let's see what our relief is too. So, capo at first. And first time using these new saddles, I put some of the super lube in there, and of course we used the guitar grease at the nut. Let's see what our relief says. Body joint. Looking for 12th thou. Wow. I can tighten that up just a little bit. There. So let's tighten it up just a little bit. See what that looks like. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. Okay, just slightly lifting the string. I will live with that. Alright, so what do we do for, we got to stretch in the strings, and I'm going to check intonation. We have to raise the action a little bit, so we're going to do that right now. Almost. There's that. That's more like it. Let's see how close we got to intonation. Okay. Everything's a little flat, but we're close. Okay, so we're going to move all the saddles that way a little bit. No big deal. We got our string height right, we got our relief right. We've got to check our pickup height before I do intonation, because if they're too tight, those pickups are too high, all the intonation work will do nothing. Okay, so we start off and they're both too high. Good. Okay. Well, I'm not going to bore you with doing all the intonation, but basically they're all flat, so they all have to move forward just a little bit on all of them. Alright, I think we nailed this. We had to swap this saddle. If you look, you see that the high E saddle is opposite of all the other ones. Just need a little bit more room to reach that. See if we have any buzz issues. Hey, we won. Alright, I'm going to let this sit on a stand overnight. And, man, what did we do to this? I'm going to call Buddy tomorrow and tell him to get it out of here. We replaced this Nashville Bridge with a new Gibson Nashville Bridge, slotted the saddles so that they are right where they should be. We leveled and crowned our frets and polished them up to a nice bright shine, as you can see. Oiled the fingerboard, cleaned the fingerboard, set the relief. Let's plug it in and see what it sounds like. No noise in the pots. We had to raise the stop piece because the strings were touching the back of the bridge, which they're not anymore. But I did have to really raise it quite a bit, but that's no longer an issue. No noise in the controls, no noise there. Alright, let's play Let's Fall. Providing it's still in tune after all that. Both pickups. Bridge pickup. It works. Yay. And like I told you guys in previous videos, you never, ever take off the dangly ends of your strings until the job is done. Because you never know when you got to flip a saddle or make some weird adjustment that you need those extra wraps of string. Well, thank you for joining us down here in the Underground Lair. If you've learned anything, if you like what you see, please hit the like, subscribe, and little bell. And if you are in the Pittsburgh area and you need your guitar or bass brought up to par, send me a instant message. We'll get you in line. Website soon come. Check us out on Facebook. Please like and subscribe. Love you guys. Take care of your neighbors. Love your neighbors like you love yourself. Take care of the old folks because they're special. Peace. Have a great weekend. Oh, hold it. It's Monday.